Alright everybody, so now that I have a new car, I have to go through this whole process again of getting it where I want it, which is going to start with the small stuff as I work my way up. One of the smallest things, the most annoying thing I guess, is how these cars cost so much money and yet you get in and it's got all these like ugly ass yellow interior lights that just look like shit. So I had these from the last car. I basically just took them out. They were amazing. Diode Dynamics, and I think that, yeah, they're all Diode Dynamics. So I got their kit. So basically I'm just gonna do a quick rundown, just show you if anything's not self-explanatory as far as like how to get these caps off. I have the trunk, the vanity lights, the map, the dome. I mean, obviously if you have a Challenger it's a little bit different. I have the underdoor lights, so, and the glove box, I have that as well. So we're just gonna jump right into this. Alright everybody, we are currently underneath the driver's side door. Look at those ugly ass lights. That's gonna change. I'm just gonna start with the door lights because this is the easier one for me. I just do all 4 doors. Again, like I said, if you got a Challenger, this is different. This clip, this setup is fairly easy. If you look, there's a little notch on this side. I have a bunch of pry tools. So basically I just come in, pop it down, pull this out, okay? And what you're gonna wanna do, because this has been on for a second, is basically just unplug it. I'm gonna let you know real quick, these bulbs, these tiny little bulbs, they get hot fast as hell, and yeah, this one's fucking scorching hot. They get hot fast as hell, so you wanna basically be very careful. So basically once you take this part off, it's a little cap, like I said, unplug it, it takes it a little easier for you. You're gonna end up basically taking something and just popping this down a little bit, and as you push it down, it's gonna unhook from this. This does not have any spring in it, this does. I mean, from there, you're basically just taking it off, and as you look at the bulb, it's got these little like hoopy things. The bulbs I have for this are these like circuit board looking bulbs, and they're pretty awesome. They work pretty well. They're pretty damn bright. So what we're gonna do is just pop these back on. So here's the trick, and I want you to make sure you remember something because I've done this many times and I've screwed it up. You're gonna want, if you think about it this way, this part is facing on the ground. Do not put the bulbs with the light facing up. So you're gonna want the bulbs facing down. So basically what you're gonna do is hook it on the spring part first, come in and, you know, basically push the spring in and hook it onto there, okay? And it looks all nice and neat, everything's beautiful. We're gonna plug it in, I'm gonna show you. It's a big difference, it looks so much better. So basically once that's all done, you're just gonna take this, you're gonna plug that back in. Now this is, I don't know if it's picking it up, but this is significantly lighter, brighter, and it's not even just that, it's such a nice color. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna remember when you're putting these back in, I mean, you can't really mess it up that well, but you know, you pry it on that side. So you're just gonna basically come in, stick it up, lock it in. Now, this is a freaking bright light. Let's go do the rest of them. Since I'm already on the left side, what I might as well do is just do the driver's side rear door. It's pretty much the same exact thing. I'm not going to bother showing the passenger side, but I just want to do this real quick. Do you see that light output there? Now look at this contrast. I mean, it's putting off the same light power, but the color, this is very, very good mod. If you don't have this on your car, get it, it's worth the money. At nighttime, you'll appreciate this a lot more. So let's start the back door real quick. So you're gonna take your pry tool and go in, okay? Ow. Don't worry, I didn't break the bulb, it timed out. And it's hot as hell on that bulb, son of a bitch. All right, so you're just gonna basically remove that and change the bulb. Same situation as the other one. Like we're gonna push unlock. Alright, see, we got it. If you hit the unlock button and these aren't turning on, then just switch them. But like I said, make sure they're pointing down. And again, this is a little different. We just go like this because the pry part is on that side. And now you got beast mode on the whole driver's side of the car. Now I'm gonna do the passenger side of the car. I'm not gonna film that, and then I'm gonna move on to the other things. You know, real quick before I move on to the trunk, what I recommend is saving these containers that these bulbs come in, putting your stock bulbs in there, not even just in case, but if and when you decide to sell your vehicle, I recommend keeping these bulbs. They're not super expensive, but if you have a situation like me where I actually went from the same vehicle, you know what I mean? It's a good situation where you have the bulbs already. I didn't have to buy any of this stuff, which is amazing. So just save these. So this is the trunk of the Hellcat. I already have my WeatherTech mats, and as you can see, the one big difference is I don't have Beats audio, I have the Harman Kardon, so I have more room. So these are the two bulb areas. I'm going to show you one of them because obviously they're identical, and then we're going to go from there. The reason I decided to do the trunk second is because they're very similar bulbs, just a little skinnier. As you can see, they have that hook and loop. They have that hook and loop system. It's basically just like the other ones. You find that gap, you take your pry tool, you go in there. This one is noisier than the other one. Don't be afraid, you're not breaking anything. And these lights time out a little bit quicker for whatever reason. But like I said, anytime I'm changing these bulbs, I like to disconnect them. It takes 2 seconds to take them off there. It's just peace of mind. Probably don't even need to do it. This is the same setup as the other thing, so same principle applies where you poke down. Bulb comes off, and these are the new bulbs. Little mini circuit boards. Again, make sure they're pointing downward through the viewing glass. You're gonna plug it in. So this is one of those things where you're gonna do it on both sides and leave it dangling a little bit until you figure out whether or not you got the polarity right. I don't know if this one has polarity, but I know on my last car I put them in and I kept fidgeting with it, and it was just a matter of the trunk lights weren't turning on. I'm gonna shut this trunk and see if that opens it again. Oh, there you go. So apparently to test this light, you gotta shut the trunk and then open it back up. So now that we know we didn't F that up, that's the new trunk lights. Again, save your bulbs. So we're gonna move on to the glove box, and this one's a slight bitch, but you're gonna need some kind of tool. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. If you look in here, if I can even get in there, the bulb is tucked inside. So basically you have to find a way to get in behind it and push it out that way. What ended up happening is this did work. This little hook here, what I did was I put it in like that, and I ended up grabbing, because this is a bit of a fatty bulb, I ended up grabbing the bulb kind of like on the bulge part here and just pulling with a little force. I'm sure that there's some other way to do this, but I've never been one to take the easy road. With this kind of situation, you're going to end up using this bulb. It's a 194, and again, all of the bulbs I have are they're Cool White 6000K. Okay, so like I said, if everything goes well, you just push that bulb in there, make sure it's secure. That's a nice amount of light. Again, we're filming this in a day. Well, not we are, I am. But it's not going to be as substantial as the difference you're going to see at nighttime. So I'm going to try to put a little bit of a night clip walkthrough. We are still in the passenger seat, so I figured, why not start with this? And then we got to move on. Look at these lights. This is hideous. Alright, so what we're going to do with this is pretty simple. The tool I recommend for this one is some kind of like thin pry something. I have a little kit. What you're gonna end up doing is coming in. I usually start on the inside. I think it's the easiest way because this has some give. Now, don't be afraid. This piece here is gonna move a little bit over. So I already started this one. You're basically just gonna come in, you know, oh, it's gonna pop right off and probably hit you in the eye and make you have to go to the hospital. It's probably what'll happen. All right. So what your best bet is to stick this pry tool somewhere right on the actual, nothing wants to focus because there's a freaking mirror right next to it. You're gonna stick it right on the actual piece. It's hard. I don't have a camera crew here, so it's really hard to do this. Let's do it this way. This will be easier. Okay, you're gonna push it and this little part here is gonna move out of the way, and then once you do that, it'll come out and you'll be all right. One thing I forgot to mention about this particular mod, not a lot of people do this. They kind of forget about it. It's still an orange light bulb, which is hideous. But one thing is, if you have a girlfriend or a wife, fiance, they're gonna hate this, okay? What this does is it blinds you when you look in the vanity, and I guess women can't stand this because what this does is it's so bright it like amplifies your face and your pores and you see imperfections. So this is gonna piss your woman off. So if you love your car, you know, do this mod. If you love your woman more than you love your car, don't do this mod. If you have a woman that's okay with this and they're not self-conscious, speak to them first, okay? And then do this mod, because this is definitely, I don't even know if I would call this a mod, but this is definitely worth it. Now, these are the bulbs we're gonna be using. Again, they are little tiny slip-on bulbs that go in just like this. Now, with this, again, these just clip in, they're like pressure fit. So you're just gonna take a pry tool. Do not pry on the glass, pry on the actual metal part, because you could break this glass. I've never done that, but just looking at it, I could tell you that would be a stupid thing to do. So if you're gonna start prying, what I would recommend would be coming in on like an end or something down here and pushing it down a little bit and prying it that way. Or you know what? Yeah, do it that way. Just find what way works for you, but do not just take this and think, okay, you're gonna do this. You'll probably break a bulb and have tiny little shards of glass inside your car, and that is not acceptable. And here's the finished product. One little tip I recommend, try not to look directly at the bulb. Your ass will go blind. I'm seeing spots right now. I close my eyes and there's spots. But here's an example. This is what that side looks like, and this is what this side looks like. Again, you will be blind. It's no joke, but it's awesome. And make sure you clean your glass, alright? After you're done, nobody likes a smudgy ass vanity mirror, alright? That's not very vain. Okay, so I saved these two here and the two back there for last, because as far as I'm concerned, they're the most pain in the ass, and they're not even that bad. But I've done this before, so trust me, I'm a professional. What you're gonna want to do with this is not be afraid. This one scares me sometimes. But basically, I'm gonna show you where you're supposed to put the pry. You're gonna pry up here. This is the best place to start. Now, when you're pushing, the lights are gonna turn on. This light's gonna actually go in. Don't be afraid with that, just keep pushing. So you're gonna wanna go in, push down, maybe toward the right a little bit of it, and then you're gonna get this to a situation where it's like that, okay? When it's out just a little bit. Once you get these to this position, you're gonna just pull down a little bit, so now that clip is out, and you can do that for both, okay? Now that is gonna take some force right then and there. That's not really a scary part. Awesome, right? The back here is what's scary, okay? So, oh, there's two sets of bulbs in here. Are you shitting me? This is new. This was the way it always was. Now you got this thing here. This is bullshit, okay? Because this, now, I don't even know how I'm gonna change that bulb. That's like not a bulb. That's probably one of their bullshit circuit things. So now, that's absolutely so stupid. That's so dumb. Once you get it to this part, you can actually take your pry tool and come in and pop down, but make sure you leverage this a little bit. There's nothing to like worry about. Like this is what you're gonna see. While it's in there, you've got these pieces that are basically like that. There's no clips hanging them in. They're just in there as like levers. So basically, you're gonna want to pull out. What I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm kind of, you know, I should have thought of this, but they changed this. This was not like this for my 2016. There's these extra bulbs here, these things. I'm not entirely sure if they're like an LED thing or what the hell they are, but I'm gonna try to take this top part down. What I'm gonna do though anyway is change these two bulbs. So this way anybody pre 2017 knows kind of sort of what's happening. This is going to be a different situation. Worst case scenario, until I figure out how to change that bulb to the cool white 6000K, because I'm not having this bullshit color for right now. I'm just not going to do it until I figure out how to change this bulb. You've got a whole interior of bulbs that just like shine nice and bright, and then you're going to have these ugly bulbs. I can change these. These I'm gonna have to figure out. It's always something. It's always something. Okay, so like I said, I'm not playing games. This is off now, so I can get an idea of what is get an idea of what's happening here. From the looks of it, there's some kind of circuit thing in there somewhere. So I'm gonna take these screws off, and if there's a bulb and there's a way, I'll do it. Otherwise I'm gonna disable it until I figure out how. For anybody wanting to do this, this is the way it is right here. I mean, you've got 4 clips. They're pretty heavy duty clips, and they go in here, 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 and here. So basically my advice is to get like a little pry tool in toward the back, pull it down a little bit, enough for you to get your hand in, and just start pulling. Don't worry too much, but firm but even pressure, if that makes any sense, and it'll pop off. You're gonna think you're ripping your whole headliner off and the roof's gonna collapse and you're gonna die, but it's not gonna happen. And then all you're gonna do is just unplug this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're on to the last bulbs. I saved these for last because there's a slight thing I want to talk about. To get this bulb out, well, you can't turn it back on. There's a cover here, so you actually have to unscrew this whole handle. Okay, so once you get this open, you actually have to get this cover off. There's a tiny little point on the side, and you can basically pull that off, and you've got that kind of bit on both sides. And I'm gonna get my hex and we're gonna take this off. The size of that bolt in there is a T30. So you're gonna wanna basically just take this out. Once you have the screws loose, you can push the cap forward, the handle forward, and it'll keep them in. Now this is all gonna come out, okay? Now there's not a whole lot of room with this cable. What you're gonna notice is a clip here, here, and on the other side there are 2 more clips. Basically you're just gonna wanna unhook these clips. Here's the only view I could really give you. Once this is removed from the handle, as I mentioned, it's got a little part that you can't pry on this end. The part that has the button that you're gonna push, what you're gonna do is just take your pry tool or whatever it is, and you're just gonna go in there and pry up a little bit so it goes over this little lip. And once it does that, you're gonna pry it downward. There's the bulb. We're just gonna take our little pry tool Wow, that came right down on this. That's great. What are the odds? That bulb's hot. Be careful. So now we're just left with this. We're gonna put the other bulb in. These are the new bulbs. And as you can see, big difference. So we're gonna start tidying this up. First thing you're gonna do, I can actually do this with one hand because it's pretty easy, is you're gonna take this, with that tab is gonna go into that little opening, locked in, done. So when you install this, you gotta be aware that there are different clips. One's got bigger clips on the back and in the front. So we know it's gonna be sitting like this. So basically, all right, these are the small clips here. So we're gonna put the small clips on first on one side, and then we're gonna just basically push and lock in. Just make sure everything's secure and locked in, and then basically you're gonna push this back in. You're gonna take your T30. Now be careful, these screws can fall out. And once you get one started, just go to the other side. Like I said, they can fall out. Be careful with them. Once they get started, you should be good. Don't tighten these too tight. I mean, this part, it's not crazy, but, you know, get it snug. Once it's snug, just, you know, snug it up. That's it, you know. You're gonna take this piece that we took off, and you're basically just gonna push this back on. The flat part is gonna go on the bottom, and it just basically clicks in. If I could show you a better angle here. You know, flat part goes on the bottom. This goes here. And basically all you're gonna do is just push it in. And we got ourselves a nice light, and everything's done there. I'm gonna do the other side, and we're gonna call this install complete until I figure out that that part. What I want to do right now is remove these screws and see what we're working with here. So basically these little screws that go all the way around, they are T10 bits. So what I'm gonna do is remove them. All right, so this is all removed. Make sure you do not lose these screws. It should lift right up. So once that covers off, this is what we expose. These are the bulbs I've been used to. This and this are the new bulbs. Okay, what I'm gonna do is keep these twisters off here, right? And I'm gonna see if we can just, yeah, this should be fine. We're gonna pry this off here, okay, just like that. Be very gentle, okay? So we pry that off, and there are the LEDs. This is so stupid. I don't know why they changed this. Stupidness is what it is. So what we're gonna do, just unhook this this thing here until I figure out how I can do this. If I find somebody, I mean, obviously I don't want to remove the whole circuit board part, but now that I'm looking, there's apparently a third light. Yep, there's another, I don't know what they did, why they did this, but there's a third light. So I'm gonna unhook all this shit because I'm not gonna have this. This is you know, some people might not agree with this, but that color is hideous, and eventually I'll figure it out. I'll find somebody that can do this and take this back apart, because it's not hard at all, and, you know, get him to do the boards. But for right now, This is getting honestly OCD'd. In case anybody's interested about this, so it's one of those things where it's like a pressure snug fit thing. So basically when you just loosen it up, it's only going to come out that far, okay? And then you pull the ribbon out the rest of the way, and then you can just keep that snugged in so you don't lose that or break that. And this is going to be free balling until I figure out how to get maybe somebody to change these to 6,000K. So we're gonna figure it out. But either way, I'm not rolling around with those yellow lights. Not gonna happen. All right, everybody. Now we're gonna show you, because it's dark enough, the lights. This is the difference. All of the interior bulbs are done. The floor lighting. We've got all of that lighting. We've got that lighting. Everything looks pretty legit. We have this lighting. I mean, we're lit up like a freaking UFO. As you're gonna see in the video, I did disable the LEDs in this. That's gonna come down to a personal preference situation. For me, I don't care to have extra light. I mean, look at the freaking light we have here. What more do you honestly need? It's lit up like crazy. The other thing I did that I didn't film was down here. I don't drive and look at my shoes. I don't associate myself with people that look at their shoes. So this light is useless. They have some bullshit LED again that's yellow, that's down here. What I did was there's a little flap here. Each side, over there and on the passenger side, has push clips. You can just pull it down. You can reach in on top of it and disconnect that LED. I don't need yellow lights on my floor, just as much as I don't need yellow lights up here. The camera kind of makes it look like it's giving off some kind of like ominous glow. No, Jesus Christ is not coming down from my lighting system up here. This is just the camera. Just in case anybody's wondering. It looks awesome. I'm really happy with it. It's just, with this color combo, it looks awesome. Spectacular. So that's it. The one thing I want to talk about is 2017 can suck me. This is the last little light. I don't know why that's there. I just don't understand, but I will figure it out. Dodge, you need to cut the shit. You need to stop the shit with these LEDs. If you're gonna put an LED, put this color. Why do you need to have this ugly yellow? Look at the difference. I mean, that's in the mirror. There's not a damn thing I can do about that right now, other than bitch and moan about it. It's not horrible, but it does leave a light on the ground. So eventually I will figure something out, and I'm gonna be looking into that, even if I have to take the mirror off the car. I will videotape that, by the way. There's so much light that my camera doesn't want to focus. So anyway, that's the LEDs, and there goes the LEDs. Tints are getting done tomorrow, so I will have a video on that soon. Thank you for subscribing, for being supportive. I appreciate it. Like I told you, this car is going to have a ton of mods. We're going to start out with a lot of the little ones right now. I do have plans for many engine-based stuff coming up, so that's in the works, and exterior looks are going to be coming up, and then once that's done, we're going to address the tires, the wheels, and performance. We're going to try to get this beast to 800 wheel horsepower, and then eventually probably 1,000. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to figure this out. But thank you for watching, for sticking around, for being supportive, and if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe. Goodbye.